Welcome back to another episode in this channel, the second episode of this channel. I know, I know, I know I disappeared, acted like a deadbeat, abandoned you guys, and I'm sorry. It wasn't my intention. It wasn't my intention. But I come back. Those of you who follow me on my other social media accounts, I've been busy. So, yes, I've been busy. I'm sorry. I know I'm sorry. We should have done Halloween, but we didn't because I was, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, serious note. Um, there's a phenomenon happening on the 21st of June in the southern hemisphere at 4:42 a.m. South African Standard Time. Ne? And this phenomenon is the winter solstice. So, according to astronomical definition, the winter solstice marks the beginning of winter. And in the southern hemisphere, the south of the equator, this is June. In the north, it is December. That information is very important. Remember it because it's gonna work somewhere. Ne? So in the south of the equator, it is June, and in the north of the equator, it is December. Now, the colors associated with the winter solstice, it is red, green, blue, white, gold, and silver. Also important information. The names different people call the winter solstice. It is Yule. The Germanic people call it Yule, so it's Yuletide. Um, there's some people call it the longest night, a midwinter, Mother's Night, and my favorite, Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you all in the Southern Hemisphere. Yes, Merry Christmas. And Christmas happens when? In Capricorn. So we in the Southern Hemisphere, the 21st of June of every year, the time just is different. But every year in the Southern Hemisphere, June, on the 21st of June, we go into Christmas, which basically means we are at a 0 degree mark in Capricorn. The sun is in Capricorn, while in the north, the sun is in Cancer. So, those of you who were born from the 21st of June until the 22nd of July in the southern hemisphere, specifically the southern hemisphere, this doesn't this doesn't apply to the northern hemisphere. We have a sun in Capricorn. Nee, this is important because I've been shouted at for a very long time. There's people who, because this information is supposed to go out, because I've been shouted at for a very long time. I've been researching this for a very long time. So I'm told to tell you guys this is very important. Right? Because the basis of this channel and these episodes, as I was saying before I was cut off. The basis of this channel and these episodes is to align those in the southern hemisphere with the vibrations of the southern as they happen in the southern hemisphere, right? Because with astrology, Western astrology, we are taught according to what's happening in the northern hemisphere, right? It doesn't, even if you go and you trying to do birth chart calculations, like birth chart calculations, hand birth chart calculations like I did, they don't factor in the southern hemisphere. So now these episodes and this channel is meant for that. Because honestly, in Katele, me no chikwa, guys in Katele. Yeah. But anyway, let's continue. Let me stop my ranting and let's continue. So, as I was saying, this time of the year marks what Christian, the Christian holiday, Christmas, right? Remember that because I'm going to talk about it further as to why the connection and. Okay, let me take my notes and put them here because I can't see properly. Can't see. Can't see. Yeah, looking at my work. Okay. On the winter solstice, the earth is actually tilted furthest away from the sun, right? And this causes I'll edit it out. On the winter solstice, right, as discussed before, on the autumn equinox, that at the southern hemisphere we're actually tilting away from the sun. So we've tilted to a point where we are furthest away from the sun. And this causes the shortest day and longest night of the year. Now, in many pagan traditions and folklore, it is believed that this time is when the sun is being reborn. So we see it as the sun basically dying. But what the pagan traditions are actually saying is, yes, you might see it as a way of the sun is dying because it's the shortest day and the longest night, but they emphasize that this happens because oh my word. Kanti senzani la? Okay. On the winter solstice, the earth has tilted so far. The earth has tilted the furthest away from the sun, as I've demonstrated in the autumn equinox, that we in the south are actually moving the furthest away from the sun. So this brings in colder days and nights. And on the winter solstice, this actually ushers in the shortest day of the year, because the sun is, we're actually so farthest away. Yeah. On the winter solstice, the tilt of the earth is angled the furthest away from the sun, which causes the shortest day and the longest night. Okay. For this part, I will let's move the tripod, and then we can read it because it's long. This time I went, yeah, I think I drifted a little closer to the sun. There's so many notes. It's like 5 pages of notes. So yeah, so I'll be reading, and yeah, let's go. Ah, see, it's written. It's written. It's written. Yeah. Okay. So so let's read our notes. Let's read, because and try to uh remain eye contact. Me. Well, let me put it like this. Me. On the winter solstice, the tilt of the earth is angled furthest away from the sun, which causes the shortest day and the longest night of the year. So, at sundown on the winter solstice, the earth resets in its slumber from the furthest tilt away from the sun. So now we are actually going back. We're coming back. The earth is actually coming back. The southern hemisphere is actually coming back to the is actually coming back closer to the sun, right? Because on the equinox we were actually drifting further. So now we are actually coming back. I need to, guys, say yes. Say yes. So as I've said previously, this marks the sun at 0 degrees in Capricorn. Ne? What we will notice is the days, actually, yeah, during the week, the whole week before the solstice, is it's been colder. And today, I'm actually recording this on the 20th. And today, around 1, it became windy. Like there was a lot of wind, and it became chillier, right? Like last, was it last week or the week before, when we had a snowfall? And that rain, that terrible, terrible time where people of Mtata were flooded, and some were left destitute, and some didn't make it, and some are still being searched for, right? So the weather is, it's kind of like that. Like days before that happened, the weather just changed, right? Changed. So now is actually the time for hibernation, to be huddled up, right? And because of that, now it's very sad that we will be huddling up when there are people in Umtata who don't have the kind of warmth. And I also saw a video where they were saying all the donated blankets for those people were locked in an office, at a regional office. So this, okay, now I'm gonna rant, because it's also part of the notes that I have. So in pagan traditions, this was a time to give, right? To give joy, to help those in need, to lift up the spirits of those in need, right? So it was a community. It's actually, the solstice is actually a time for community to huddle together, right? To eat together, to be warm together. So now, if we're not as a municipal worker or whatever you are, and then you decide when people are donating stuff for the needy, for the destitute, and then you decide, so okay, I've calmed down. I think I'm calm now. But according to pagan traditions and folklore, because winter is a difficult time, people needed cheering up and they needed more prayer. It, even though it was dark times and uh, cold times, were depressing times. Even now, there's people who are depressed because of it's winter, right? But then it's the duty of those who can and the community around who must bring cheer to those around them, right? So it is actually a time for fellowship. That's why that video made me mad, because where is the fellowship? What are you doing? Instead of bringing cheer, you're actually depressing them, more people. And winter is actually a time where the winter solstice is actually a time where we have to help other people survive, where we have to bring joy. So what are we doing if we're not bringing joy? Instead, we are the ones who are depressing them even further. People decided with their money to donate and buy blankets, and then some greedy person decides, no, I deserve this. It's not meant for you. It's meant to uplift the community. It's meant to bring joy to the community. That's the whole point of winter solstice. That is the point of Christmas. Not what we see now, where it is about photo shoots. What do you call those postcard things? Yeah, those, yeah, right. For this time, according to ancient guys, okay, so this is actually a time where we have to bundle up as community, as friends, as family, right? To uplift each other, to lift up the soul. It's supposed to be singing, dancing around the fire, right? This is the point of winter. To, even though the days are short, they are cold. But when we gather around together as community around the fire, there'll be stories being told. There'll be singing, there'll be dancing. And that will take away from the reminder that it is cold and then it's unbearable. The trees, It's gray, basically. It's brown. The trees are bare. There's no fruits in most trees, most birds. We are only left with sparrows and pigeons, and most birds have actually have migrated to the northern hemisphere. All the colorful birds have gone to the northern hemisphere, right? So now winter's actually the time, guys. I'm still mad, but okay. Winter is also a time, right, where we can actually um work on our to-do lists, right? Like, we know the energy is low. The energy is low because it's cold, it's dear, it's like for most people it's very unbearable, and they are in a depressive rant. But to in order to get away from that, you can try doing small things that make you happy besides community. Like, okay, let me do it like this, right? um for me to be able to help the next person, I have to make sure that I am fulfilled and that I am happy, right? So I can pour into the other person. It's like you can't fill from the empty cup. So now winter is also a time where you work on your talents. You work on yourself, basically. You work on something that gives you joy, right? Like, for example, if you were an artist. Oh, sorry, guys. Yo, if you were an artist and you liked drawing a couple of years ago, you can start that again. Start something that gives you joy. Write a poem. Sing if you have to. Dance if you have to. So that when you go into a community, when you gather around with your family and friends at this time, you come with something that will also give them joy. If you dance for them, they'll be happy. South Africans love dancers. Nabula Sekel, Warat, right? Or singers, right? Sing for us. If you have like, it's a time to also work on that. It's also time to work on consistency, right? So if you want to be consistent on, let's say, for exercise, right? Let me, like, I have um a workout schedule, so it will be on my, it's there on my walls, written in bold, right? And you work on those things. You work on, like, saying, um on your to-do list for the day, you walk for a kilometer, right? You have to do something to practical if you want to. It's basically, now is your time. If you're working on your intentions and your long-term intentions, winter is the time to work on your long-term intentions, right? As the new moon is the time to work on your short goal. Also, it depends, also depends on how big your manifest how big you want to manifest, right? So winter is the time to go through, you set your intentions, right? Maybe intentions that you want manifested in the next 3 months, which is springtime, the new year. You're basically working for your new year. Winter is the time where you work on your goals that you want to achieve in the new year, which is spring, right? So you can work on that slowly but surely, practically. So it's a good thing that winter is actually starts in Capricorn, because Capricorn is the sign for responsibility, for practicality, right? So you have to, because when you manifest, that's something you must understand. When you want to manifest, your actions have to also work with your manifestations, basically your intentions, right? You can't say, I want to be a millionaire in 5 years, but don't do anything to work on that, right? You can start your goals very small. Maybe you say, I want to read. I want to, by the end of the year, in the next, not end of the year, by summer, by the summer solstice, I want to have achieved reading like 10 books. You start small and then you work time. Winter's the time for that. Be practical about your intentions. Work on your intentions. Have clear intentions. Clear intentions that you can work towards, right? Today it's like I'm ranting. I think I'm ranting. And everything I've written here. My word. Oh my God. Yeah. I. All right. Yeah. Yo, guys, ne? So it's also what note says. It says, do the things you know keep you strong, happy, and healthy, and practice them even if you lost excitement for them. Making a to-do list can be useful, can be a useful trick for staying on top of your goals, right? So we're being practical. Um, because also Capricorn is on the is part of the subconscious of, right, the hidden, basically. Now is time to work on all that you want hidden, so that when it becomes spring or summer, when the blossoms are in bloom and the flowers are bearing fruit, and you can also bear fruit. Your work and your actions can bear fruit. Your dreams, you can actually see um your manifestations, basically, right? So winter is the best time, best best time to work on your dreams and visions. As I've said on my blog, for the full moon, last full moon, the sister's moon, where um you must uh uh you must record and have clear visions of where you're going, of your dreams and your hopes, right? So now it's time to basically put your money where your mouth is, basically. You have to walk the talk. Winter is about walking the talk. So that when some people's manifestations, when they come through Kasama, and then you're like, why? But winter is there for that. Is for you to work on your manifestations, to work on self, basically. Hibernation. Winter is all about hibernation, right? So look at it this way. When the bears go into hibernation, right? They have already eaten, they're full, right? From spring until autumn. So they actually eating from the reserves. When they come out of hibernation, they're actually different. They have basically evolved. Remember that movie? Is Brother Bay? Brother Bay. Yeah, Brother Bay, where the that guy was murdering, not murdering, no, unaliving, unaliving the bees, right? He was unaliving the bees, and then what Spirit did was to turn him into a bear. And he was disgruntled because why are you turning me into a bear, and I didn't want to transition into a bear, and but then when he understood because when he went back to being a human, he understood that bears had to work very hard in order to catch fish. They had to use all their might and strength. But then that strength and might was only actually cultivated in the caves, in hibernation, in the dark, right? So winter is about working on your skills and your goals and your visions and your dreams and your craft, your your talents, your God-given talents are supposed to be worked on winter, right? I think I've been ranting for a really long time now, but that's a point of winter and the winter solstice. I I'm actually going not even according to script, right? Because also what the pagan societies um said about the winter solstice is actually the rebirth. This it's actually the rebirth of the sun. That's when the sun comes back with a force. It's gradual. Okay, now something just okay. So I need to guys now. It's cold, right? And it's gonna be about colder for a couple of days, right? For another couple of days. So when we are tilting back towards the sun, it gets warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer. So basically, what the sun is doing is ayothatha mandla, if you understand what I'm saying. It's going to gather its strength, right? So when it comes to peak, to the highest degrees, scorching degrees, inamandla. So that's what you do with winter. That's how you work on your intentions in winter. Slowly, practically. We have to be practical about your intentions. You have to work slowly, gradually. It's not instant. One thing about manifestations and your dreams, it's not instant. You have to gradually work to your goal, right? And this is shown by I am actually in a collective, and the amount of work, yes, the idea is there that we want to be there, be where we want to be in the next 5 years. But in order for us to get there is a lot of work that needs to be done, right? So take winter as that, as a time for things to be done. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. If you're shedding and releasing, I think that's the first point of it all, right? You can take the next 30 days, and if you think shadow work, okay, you can't run away from shadow work. You can't run away from the shadow work, because I thought I was gonna give you what I'm gonna give you is gonna actually lighten your shadow work. No, it's gonna actually fast track it. Right. It's gonna fast track it. But then if you want to fast track it, that's it. Okay. So in the next 30 days, if you want to buy, let's say for summer, if you want to shed old beliefs, shed limiting beliefs, release fear to step into your personal power, you're gonna have to meditate. You're gonna have to sit by yourself. It's gonna be depressing, it's gonna be hard, you're gonna cry, your body is gonna fight you, but you're gonna have to take time alone to work on yourself before you can go into a community and give what kind of help you want to give to the community. All right? You're gonna have to know yourself, know where you come from, know where you're going. And so in knowing yourself, it begins by understanding your family dynamic, by understanding what your vision and your dreams for yourself actually mean, and understanding the type of work you have to put in order to achieve your dreams and your visions. Right? For example, um, when was it? I remember in the group that I'm in, and we had a meditation, right? And then after the meditation, we gave feedback, right? And then in my feedback about, because it was an inner child healing, inner child meditation. So in that meditation, my thing that came up was my fear of being seen, because I was conditioned. Yeah, there was conditioning where you, because, not because, it's not conditioning, it's trauma. According to that, the things that happened when I was toddler that made me have a fear of being seen, right? And that kept on being added on by other things. There's things in life where you can't be seen, because also this also came up during the week. Not even during the week, I think it was yesterday or today. Yeah, yesterday. And it was about the nicknames you were given as a child, right? And that also caused me to have a fear of being seen. Um, like, I have big ears, right? So I was called Ditebe, right? And I remember in primary school there was a time I was called Mother Monkey. And because I I was a student, I think, until I think until grade 5, where I just decided not to even, I didn't basically participate in any, I didn't give my all, right? Even if I didn't give my all, I was still the top student, right? But then that was, I didn't want to be seen, because being seen then made came with those jokes, those names of being Ditebe and right. So I worked on that. I think yeah for I think 2 months before I started the YouTube channel, and I it also gave me when I worked on that fear and that limiting belief and that over underselling myself. Basically, it was underselling myself because I didn't want people to see me and to see what I can give to the world. So I worked on that. I did meditations. I took walks. I also did um, my own affirmations, which actually I still use them, and then I started to be seen, right? So if you want to work on that, you can work on that. It's very difficult, but in our quest of, in our journey of being fulfilled and alignment and abandonment, we have to go through those things. Because if I still had my fear of being seen, you wouldn't be seeing me. You wouldn't be seeing me. I would have been at this current moment. I would have been watching TV. I don't watch TV anymore, but you wouldn't be seeing me. You wouldn't be seeing on those of you who have where I'm a friends on other social media platforms. You wouldn't even be seeing my opinions on anything, right? So biggest lesson or for what you can do during these 3 months, last 3 months of the year, for those in the southern hemisphere, is to work on bettering yourself and um, working on your limiting beliefs and understanding who you are, right? Yes. I think I've ranted. It's enough about everything. Okay. So yeah, because if I still had my fear. And one thing that made me actually uh seriously work on voicing out my opinions and being having a YouTube channel and other forms of communication was the last conversation I had with my mother before she passed was, it is time for you to speak up. It's not because you are stupid or anything, but it's now time for you to speak up. That was last year, yeah, April. So took it took a while. It took a while, guys. It's work. It's work. And if it was last year, if I still had my limiting beliefs and my fears, guys, this video would have had filters and I wouldn't be speaking to you because I have this blister that I had since grade 7. I wouldn't, you know, I'm ranting. I know I'm ranting, and it's not according to working according to script. Yo. Okay, there's a noise because there's a funeral. But nah, guys. Yo, I think I should write this down. Maybe this the part of the other things. What is there? Mm, yeah, basically my notes. But oh, sorry guys. My notes are about sneaking magic and creativity in your day. Yes, so working on your craft, singing, dancing, playing with kids, um, you know, writing, crocheting. I crochet. Um, painting. I should draw again. I should go back to drawing, writing. Yeah, those kind of things should be center into your life. Me. So, let's talk quickly about the ancient sites that actually gave they they are meant they were created to mark these phenomenons in society. The one I'm going to talk about is close to us, close to my heart. It is Inzaluelang, right? Which is in Pumalanga. And Inzaluelanga is known by those people. Those people decided to name it um, Adam's calendar. It is the oldest site that is attributed to marking the events of the seasons, the change of the seasons. Right? Other sites are your pyramids. So, um, even Egypt, in Luxor, Egypt, at the temple of Amun-Re, they it's a site where they actually commemorate basically the return of the sun. Basically, the sole purpose, the celebration of Christmas is actually the return of the sun. Right. So Christmas is actually linked to the pagan celebration of the Germanic people, or where, let me read this quickly because I might get it wrong and I don't want to get it wrong. uh I don't want to get it wrong. Yeah. Oh yes, so it is actually Norse mythology where the Yule father Odin led the wild hunt across the midwinter sky. Ne? And then he would ride galloping the winds on his eight-legged steed Sleipnir, ne? Accompanied by a group of huntsmen and their hounds. He also determined the fate of those he came across. Ne? And those he deemed no longer those he deemed no longer fit to roam the earthly realm will be rounded up and hand delivered to the underworld. And those who pleased him, naughty or nice, those who pleased him would be given gifts and sent their merry way. It is for this reason that many people believe Odin is the pagan predecessor of Santa Claus. Well, look at it. He had a sleigh. He rode his eight-legged steed. How many? How many reindeers are? Is it eight? Isn't it eight reindeers? Yeah. And then he decided who's naughty or nice. So it was up to him to decide. If you're naughty, you were hand delivered to the underworld. If you're nice, you were given gifts. Well, Santa, if you're naughty, he gives you coal, which is actually ruled by Capricorn. Coal is ruled by Capricorn, right? And if you were nice, he give you nice little presents and stuff for your good work. So that's the association of Christmas and the winter solstice. Ne? I think mm, mm, okay. I think the most important point of winter is it is the time for reflection and introspection. Right? It's a time to rest. To the winter solstice. Luckily for us, it will be happening on a Saturday. So it is a time for rest. For those of you who work, who goes to work, who has to set alarms and take transport and whatever to go to work, it is a time for rest. It's a time to reflect. It is a time to throw out the old, like I've been doing for the last week, 2 weeks or so. I've been clearing out and I have to burn some things, right? It's a time for when spring comes in, you are, your subconscious is lighter. So in your subconscious lightenment, it will be you working on releasing trauma and um, reinforcing your beliefs in yourself, like taking out, releasing words that were used to undermine your power, to basically diminish you, right? That's it for your subconscious here, your brain, ne? And then for your physical body, it will be you working out, you eating healthier, right? It's you also changing your image if you want to, right? And it's you working on how you feel in your body, right? And then the last aspect would be how you want to show up in the world. So that'll be showing up for your dreams, for your visions, and your businesses. If you want to launch a business, also, if you want to launch a business and you want it to be successful, launch it on Thursday, which is a Jupiter day, a day for expansion. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to work on that, to revamp your business, if you also want to revamp your business, now's the time. So that when it comes to spring and summer, it's a new girl, it's a new boy. You understand? It's a new girl, it's a new boy. So so what winter is actually about is when it's working on all those things in the background. It's working on those things in the background so that when the first blossom of spring blossoms, you are also blossoming. Understand? You are also showing up. You are also fresh. You understand? Do you guys understand? Or I'm just, yeah. So also, it is also preparations. Think of your life like seed, right? Firstly, before a seed is planted, the soil has to be has to be prepared, right? So now winter is the time for you to prepare the soil of your brain, your subconscious, the soil of your body, preparing the soul so that when you, so basically you can, now's the time to, if you feel like now's not the correct time to be, um not even feel like, now is not the time to be planting on unprepared soil. This year is not the time. This, like, if you seeing this video, that means you now have to prepare your body and your mind so that you can also, you can get to that goal of living an abundant life. Right? So the whole point of this, of of me ranting the way I'm ranting, because today I think I have to rant, is living the life you were supposed to live and not living the life that society deems is necessary for you to live. So if you have also the thing, abantu bazotini syndrome, now's the time to remove it out of your system. Your body, as I said, your body is gonna fight you. It's gonna fight. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a fight. I'm laughing. It's gonna be a fight, but it's gonna be a fight, right? To reprogram your body and your mind, to restart, basically cleaning the slate, and then you can start planting and working towards your goals. Because in most cases, the reason why you're not achieving your manifestations or achieving your goals is because you are putting dreams and giving your body, your mind, tasks for things it's not prepared for. It is not prepared for, because your subconscious mind knows that no, we don't do that. We don't talk to ourselves nicely. No, we critique ourselves. That's what we do. So what you will have to do is reprogram your mind. Winter is a great time to reprogram your mind. So reprogram it. I'll be reprogramming it. I know the group I'm in, we will be reprogramming our minds and our bodies in order to work and achieve our dreams. And it's not, one thing is, one thing you must know is that if you fail today, don't give up. Tomorrow is another day. Every Yeah, tomorrow is another day. You work on it, and you start slow, man. Start small. Start small. You can start with some subliminals, like, you know, or you can watch. There's a girl I watch for my meditations and stuff. It's Anna. It's Anna. Huh? She's on YouTube. She's on Instagram, right? And then after that, there's a 21 day challenge, and then to help reprogram your mind and to start meditations and stuff. And then from there you can watch Abu Busi, and if you want more help, you can come to me or somebody you think will help you in what you're going through. So I hope my rant today helped. I hope it helps you, and I hope you find the enlightenment and the abundance that you wish for yourself and your future generations. Because what we're working for, what I'm working for, is for generational wealth. I don't want my kids and my grandchildren and my great grandchildren to be suffering the way I suffered, to be going through traumas that I went through. So my work is to break those curses, to break those limiting beliefs, to break all those bad habits and stuff, so that they can have um, a pleasant experience in this life. Because one thing for sure, I'm not coming back into this lifetime. So that's why I'm talking to you guys. Even though it sounds like I'm shouting a footy today. I don't know what happened, but it happened anyway. So enjoy your Christmas. We will see you. It's Valentine, eh? The celebration of the rising of the dead. Basically, what that time of the year is actually about is about ukukhuphula abantu abadala. Remember? Okay, let me go. Ne. So here's what happens. You get buried, I need to you pass away, and then a year goes, and then when a year goes, that's when you're supposed to, most people put in tombstones and stuff. But in the what I know about KwaZulu is that after a year, bakhuphula umoya wakho, so basically they're cleansing you so that you can go to the other realm, right? Yes. So that's what that celebration is all about. That's it. Yes. So Valentine is about that. It is about ukupula, so that you can go to other realms. Me? Yeah, I'm going on a tangent, but and that's all for today, guys. Let me. Oh, I spoke, me. And I think there's still a lot I have to talk about, but because, yeah, guys, okay. I hope my rant was worth it, and I hope to see you the other time. And be on the lookout for more. I think most cases I just shoot videos maybe for Instagram, and then I post them here, and then or TikTok, even though it's glitching these days. Yeah, and then I post them here. So it's almost dark, but it was a good, I think, if I say so myself, it was a good episode, even though I was ranting, Yichikana, and, but, me, yeah. So if there's more I have to talk about Winter Solstice, I think we'll reserve it for next year. Yeah, for next year, we will look at it and see how we're going. Anyways, bye.